evident.
Hey, Furball, you had all your shots? And what, pray tell, are you X-Men going to give this mind-numbed bunch of couch potatoes and the trillions watching at home? What do they want to see? Peace? Freedom? Maybe good government? Ha! They want blood and guts and love and hate. They want entertainment. You give them action, action, action.
The X-Men don't fight without a reason.
Violence and destruction are not forms of amusement.
Trust me. Oh, my performing cattle, they are. And if ratings don't go up with every show, I'll cancel the series and its performers permanently.
Episode of GospelX, the gospel according to the X-Men. I'm Jonathan, this is Henry, and welcome to episode 11 of season 2. And this was when the X-Men gets bolted over into a world of extremes, right, Henry?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically another universe where this creature, this guy, Mojo, he's like a sick, evil television producer. Sadistic television producer who only cares about himself, money, ratings, getting ahead. And his current show is flopping, so he goes and he sees that the X-Men are there, and he transports them to the world to go and put them in dangerous television shows.
Yeah.
To kind of exploit them.
So what was the key phrase that you took away from Mojo?
I think the key phrase is that when the X-Men and Mojo were talking, and then Mojo is saying that in their world, people don't care about happiness or good government or anything like that. They just want action. They want entertainment.
Give the people what they want.
Give it what they want. They're not gonna. They don't want any of that cerebral stuff or peace stuff.
So in this world, then you would say that this is the extreme of extreme narcissism.
Yeah,
narcissism.
Extreme, or maybe even take it to the nth degree, extreme of consumerism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where people are only existing to consume entertainment, to go and to be distracted by the issues of the world. And you can kind of see that in our world, that we're so caught up in the entertainment, in the tabloids, in the most recent news article, everything becomes really shallow.
Yeah, it's more like a shock factor.
Yeah, and so, it's even more pronounced now. You have the clickbait generation where articles are
Just
more
headlines.
It's just headlines. You just read the headline, you get mad for 5 minutes, and then you move on to the next one.
Yep. Get mad, write it off, send a bad tweet or something, troll a little bit, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm. And so when the X-Men go into this world, there's it's like a worldview clash. They see violence as a means of defending themselves, and they won't fight unless it's necessary. And Mojo was like, no, this is not how it works here. We're going to exploit you. We're going to put you in these dangerous situations. We don't care about your safety, how you feel.
Yeah.
If you say no.
We don't care about how you think.
They don't care about any of that. And in the end, the X-Men had to go and defend themselves, and they get...
So it's almost like this world that Mojo is in is our world to the nth degree. Like, this is where we're actually headed to. We already see it now, the evidence of it, and basically this world that this episode, for some reason, X-Men is really good at existential questions. This is actually where we're headed towards, if we continue along that path, right?
Yeah, and then in the end of the episode, the X-Men don't actually fight their way out of it either. Long shot.
So there's no solution.
There's no solution. He goes in and he saves the X-Men, and the reason he gives was that, they're taking up his other TV show's time slot, so it's a self-serving reason. What can we do?
It's interesting, right? Because, however, when we look at this world, my observation is there's actually some bright moments now of people really realizing the consequences of our choices. right? We were talking about this before we were doing this, preparing this episode, is that, we have the, activism now of telling us that, hey, like, the world is on fire and that we have to do something about it. On fire meaning climate change, or on fire meaning social injustice and things. The world is waking up to this. And however, I find personally is that that's it. They're woken up, but no one seems to have the solution to resolve
There's no
it.
leadership, right? Like,
There's no leadership. It's almost like there's no leader that could actually provide any hope with a plan. Like a hope with a plan. And it's interesting because Barack Obama actually said that too. He said you could continue to be awoken by the various things that we have seen. Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, climate change, Greta Thunberg, for example, the protests by our youth. Great, right? But what's next? Or are we just going to continue to be woken up and continue to get depressed and bitter and actually seep even further into hopelessness and despair? What do you think?
I think that's a good critique of what we're seeing right now. I mean, most people, I feel like they can participate in these kind of movements on their free time.
Right.
They're there if they have like time on the weekend, or if they skip school.
They're not skipping school because the school actually was canceled.
Okay.
For that.
All right.
Right? So they actually didn't skip school. So it's kind of, that's another topic in itself of what it means to be sacrificial. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm just thinking, we need a long shot, basically, but not self-serving like long shot. Like let's put in some Christian elements here then. We believe that Jesus actually is the agent and is continuing to be the agent to make us awake of what we're doing. Revealing us of our sinful, selfish nature and the consequences that we're experiencing, like our world is on fire. But he also is the enabler of us to take the lead, right, in providing us hope and ideas and plans to actually make this world better and make it better after when we're woken up.
Yeah, hopefully, our world doesn't end up like the world in Mojo Vision, where everyone is just
cheap,
self-serving, selfish.
And then notice that they're just blind. Even though they're watching, they're just completely blind to what's really at stake there.
Yeah.
Right? So to the point, I think, to sum up, yes, we're in the woken up nature now in the world where we see a lot. And there will be more revelations of various things, notably climate change or whatever. But we also need to take part in the redemption of the world and not just continue to be part of the sorrow and depression of the woke generation.
We're all in the same boat together.
We're in the same boat, but but we as Christians should actually take that step and be the agent of the redemption part as well. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's good.
Good?
All right.
It's interesting that, this episode was pretty shallow, but we were able to have something in depth.
Well, the episode was pretty shallow. The people were mostly shallow.
Mostly shallow anyway. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us with another episode of GospelX. Till next time, have a blessed week.